Hello folks, this is Sula speaking, and you're listening to a commentary video for League of Legends, this one featuring Janna. In part 1 of the game, we had a very close, very good ranked game going on back and forth. We lost the last team fight, which took place over here in the jungle. Since then, we have just healed and went back to buy, and we are now looking to score this dragon. The reason why that worked is MLL was pushing top lane. He was pushing that tower, and so they sent people up to top lane to deal with him. And while they were doing that, we were able to come down here and go for dragon, and go for a relatively safe dragon. In this game, I'm playing as a support Janna. That is, I'm not looking to get last hits, not looking to get minion kills myself. I'm looking to get things to support the rest of the team. So that would mean getting things like Aegis of the Legion, and I've also picked up a Mana Manipulator, which I'm going to build into a Soul Shroud. Items that aren't great necessarily on their own, but work really well because they add aura effects to the rest of the team. Now, our Baron Ward has just died, so we are going to look to get another one. Unfortunately, it appears as though they stole our blue earlier after they won that last team fight. We realized at this point that we wanted to get a ward for Baron, so I am actually going to go back and pick up that on this particular trip. I'm actually going to pick up a Vision Ward. Let's see, it should be appearing. Yep, so there we go, Vision Ward, so that we can see if they have any of their own wards at Baron, and we can clear them. And once again, the reason why Janna buys them is because Janna is, when you're playing a support champ like Janna, you are less item dependent than other champs. So that's why it's my role in the team to pick up that kind of stuff. In terms of farming, you can see everyone else in the team has tons of farm. I don't, but again, that's deliberate. That's the gameplay style that we were trying to go for here. We were trying to see where their team was. We thought they were in our jungle right here. So as soon as Clairvoyance comes up, I'm going to check that out. And nope, actually they're not here. So now that we know that they're not there, I'm safe to go over and drop that Baron Ward. Instead, they're actually over here. Their Udyr player is right here. And look how tanky their Udyr is. Banshee's Veil and Thorn Mail. So that 208 armor on that Udyr. So that is a very, very tanky Udyr. Here we were trying to catch Gangplank, and I feel like we should have been able to stun him and kill him there, but I guess we were just a little slow on that, and now the rest of their team is going to come in here and engage. So let's see, I'm just going to toss my Tornado to pop people up in the air. My Tornado does almost no damage though, so it's really just for the knock-up at this point in time. MLO was away from the rest of us, but fortunately he was able to circle around here and get back into a safe position. Udyr is going in first, which is what he should be doing as a tank. Now Gangplank circling around. Gangplank is the one we want to target because he has no defensive items whatsoever. But now he's back behind the rest of their team. There's the Amumu ult. Decent, I guess. It didn't really do that much, though. MLL circling back around. We're able to score a kill on Gangplank. Right there, I'm going to use the Janna ult to heal us and push people back. I think that was pretty decent. The whole fight is still going on and engaging back and forth. Amumu's low, so we're going to try to kill him next. Unfortunately, Speaker got taken down. MLL is going to jump back into the fight here. He's going to jump right into the fight there. Let's see, Anivia is getting low next. Right, Karthus is chasing me, so I'm going to back off and try to re-engage as soon as I'm healthy again. So here we go. Now I'm going to look to get it back in and re-engage. I'm going to toss my slow on Karthus. We're going to be able to kill him, which is good. Now we're trying to focus on that Udyr, who is still just so tanky. He's just really hard to kill. I'm going to try to use my shield on Otis as much as possible, so I'm going to shield him. Here comes the Karthus ult, and unfortunately, even with my shield, that's still going to finish off Otis. Meanwhile, Gangplank is now teleported back into the fight, so D.Va is going to get taken down, and then I take a bad angle. I come down here, and that Udyr is still alive, and Gangplank has, of course, teleported back in at full health, and so they're going to finish me off. One thing that the rest of the team pointed out after that particular fight was over was when I was up here, I came around and I started to come down like this, and you can see where they killed me. They pointed out if I had just gone up here into the brush, they wouldn't have seen me, and I probably could have survived that. So that was a mistake on my part. Anyway, I felt like we actually fought that fight pretty well. I think that the main problem that happened there was we killed just about all of them in that fight. The problem was they had their teleports, and they had the Karthus survive, so they were able to keep sending people back into the fight even after we had killed them. But so it was disappointing that we came out, we ended up losing, and it cost us this tower. But I thought that we actually fought that pretty well on the whole, targeting the right people, trying to get Gangplank initially, because as you can see, he does not have a single defensive item. Trying to get that Karthus as much as possible, trying to go after Anivia. So I thought that we fought that pretty well. It was unfortunate we didn't come out on top, but overall, hopefully not that bad in terms of the engage. The one thing that's lacking right now for us, you can see again, it's still close in kills, but the problem is we've lost a lot more towers than them. We've lost 5 towers and they've only lost 1. Now we have gotten a couple dragons to try to offset that, but they have a bit of an advantage, both in terms of map positioning and also in global gold, global experience, just because they've taken so many of those many of those towers. Remember, every tower gives you global gold and global experience, so that is helping them out quite a bit. And the other thing is that in this current version of League of Legends, minions are extremely strong. People have made the joke that minions are OP, that minions are overpowered, which is kind of funny, but in a way, it's actually kind of true. Oh, here, MLL has gotten caught by Karthus wall and Anivia wall, and they are going to pick him off. And unfortunately, they're going to score a kill there. Now, again, what their team probably should have done would have been just go and Baron off of this. I mean, they scored a kill on one of us. If they just all went 5 to Baron, they could force us into a 5v4 Baron fight, which would be difficult for us to win. But again, for whatever reason, they decided not to go for that. I picked up another Vision Ward. I want to place it at Baron, but I had to get to Baron safely before I can put that down. And right now, we do not have enough map control to get up there safely. Fortunately, it looks like they are not going to go for Baron because, as you can see, they sent Karthus and Anivia to bottom lane instead of going to Baron, and that was really a mistake because that was a missed opportunity for them. They could indeed have gone, and while MLL was down, they definitely could have gone for that. Now we know 2 of them are bottom lane, so with Udyr here and the rest of our team here, we're going to look to engage this because we have the advantage in terms of numbers. Also, they're Amumu and Udyr players. They're very tanky, but they don't do much damage. So we're going to fight this, and it's going to be a 5-on-2. And we are going to burst down their Udyr, and then next we're going to focus on that Amumu player, and together we're going to kill them 5-on-2. And now in comes their Gangplank player, and we're going to try to pick him off as well. Let's see, you can see people are using their ghosts, people are using their speed up skills, and their Otis has now hit on his frost arrows, and with that slowing effect, there's no way he's going to be able to get out. And so we're going to score that kill squill, and we're going to pick off 3 for 0. And our team, not being stupid, is going to go for Baron, and we're going to try to force this here. So they only have 2 members of their team up, just Karthus, just Anivia. So we should be able to score this with no problems. If they come out to try to fight us, we should be able to get this. We should be able to kill them if they come out to challenge us. ICV here, which is a mistake. They're actually up here, and here we go. And oh no, that is a bad mistake. They took the Baron, so unfortunately they were able to steal it. Now, the only thing that made that better is I was able to use my shield on MLL, and he went down to 10 HP. If I hadn't shielded him, he would have died to Karthus ult. So I was glad that I was able to save him. But wow, to lose that Baron, let them steal that. That was not good. The problem is that D.Va apparently did not have his smite up. He had used his smite earlier. And that's just, unfortunately, that was just a mistake. Whole games can be won or lost based on Baron smites, and unfortunately that was a case where you saw that in action. One piece of advice that I give to people who are playing League of Legends is if you're playing a jungler, and if you're the one with smite on your team, you should not be using smite at all after about the 30-minute mark. Like, you should just save your smite in case you need it for Baron, because after you hit about the 30-minute mark, really, I mean, you don't need smite to kill jungle creeps. I mean, there's no reason to, like right there, D.Va just used it on a cannon minion, which is great and all, but now smite's going to be down for the next, you know, it's going to be down for the next, what, 60 seconds or so? Smite's about a 60-second cooldown. So you should try to have your smite just up in case you need it for a Baron steal, because Baron is just so important. Anyway, right there, their Karthus player ulted for some reason. I don't know why. That was a bizarre Requiem usage, just to use Requiem in a situation like that. Another thing I'll point out, oh, and D.Va also got Leviathan, as well as Magi Soulstealer, which is kind of hilarious, but I guess it makes sense. On Shogath, it does kind of make sense. So I guess he's going for the Bravery build, or whatever it's called. Now their team, now that they have Baron, they're going to send 5 to push this. Looks like they're going to send 5 to push our mid lane tower here. And we have MLL off here in side lane, but he can jump in at any point in time. We're pretty confident that we can hold this. It's very difficult to push into these base towers. they should what they should try to do is look to get us in a situation where they can fight us without pushing in at one of these towers. Easier said than done, of course, but that's the goal. They don't really want to charge in and engage here. MLL has now come back to the base, and we were looking to engage on these people. We were just looking for the right moment. Unfortunately, Otis just took a lot of damage from a Gangplank parley, and I think he's going to go back to heal. So we decided that, and the other thing is we saw Udyr over here. Udyr is now pushing bottom lane, which makes sense in a way, but we decided we would have Otis come back and heal. And then as soon as he came back healed, we would have MLL's Pantheon jump right on top of these guys. And because Udyr is split pushing bottom lane, Udyr will not be there for the fight. So here we go. We're going to get the jump in, and right there, able to jump in and engage on Anivia in the back. So we're going to egg her immediately. Right now, I'm going to go for this Gangplank who is chasing me. He's going to get blown up by the tower. I'm going to ult back here. Karthus dives after me for some reason, and he is going to kill me. But the problem is, by diving after me, he's going to die as well. And the rest of our team is going to be able to score a kill on him. So we've now gone 4 for 1. They've killed me, but everyone else has survived. Now this Udyr is the only one left alive. And although he's full health and Speaker and D.Va are mid-health or below, he is going in and fighting on 3v1, which is always a dicey prospect. So as long as we fight this carefully, we should be able to do this okay. MLL is very low. Udyr is still fighting, still fighting, still fighting. And he is going to get the kill, but then we're going to kill him as well. And that's actually going to give us an ace. So all 5 of them are down. Now, why was that a really good play for us? Well, quite aside from the fact that we went 5 for 2, we cleared the Baron buff off of all of them. So they no longer have the Baron advantage. That Udyr, instead of looking to stay around to score 1 more kill, he probably should have backed out, just because at best he was going to die. At best, he was going to die to secure 1 more kill, and at worst, he was going to do exactly what happened. He was going to lose Baron buff too, and then just die in the process. So, don't think that was the best move. 2 of them also teleported to top lane. So again, they just wasted teleports. Karthus and Gangplank both wasted their teleports. To go from your base to this tower is not a long walking distance, and especially to have both people teleport there at once is just very silly. So again, I think that they were misusing their skills a bit. Anyway, I've now finished Soul Shroud, so you can see gives everyone around me extra mana regen and cooldown reduction. It used to give 15% reduced cooldowns, now it only gives 10%. I think that's a little silly. I think it should be 15. Soul Shroud's not that great of an item that it should be only 10%, but oh well, whatever. The other thing I wanted to mention in terms of itemizing on this other team, notice that Karthus on their team has a Magi Soul Stealer. I think that Karthus is one of the worst champs in the game. Well, not the worst champs in the game to get Magi's on, but a poor choice to get Magi's because of the way his passive works, his death-defied passive. Karthus needs to be putting himself in a position where he doesn't really care if he lives or dies in order to play effectively. Like, you want to be right in the middle of your fight with your Defile running, and often that means you're going to die in a battle, but that doesn't really matter that much, because for Karthus, if you die in the team fight and the whole fight takes place inside your Defile, then it doesn't really matter that much. However, if you buy a Magi Soul Stealer, then yes, it does matter if you die. So anyway, I don't like going the Magi's route on Karthus. Anyway, here we looked like we caught this Udyr. Now the Gangplank is going to ult, and it's actually a good Gangplank ult. You can see it's hitting all of us and it's doing a lot of damage. So we are going to take a lot of damage from that. And now here comes the Karthus ult, and I wanted to shield MLL, but he was walking away from me, so I couldn't get up there in time to shield him. And unfortunately, they're going to score another kill. So that was a bit of miscommunication on our part. I was like, oh, if he had just walked the other way so I could have shielded him, then he probably would have survived. Because you can see my shield would have given him an extra 260-something life. Anyway, they are going to respond to this to push our middle lane, which is probably a good idea. They do have a 5-on-4 for the moment. I am going to flash into the base. It's a bit of a waste of flash, but I wanted to make sure I was here so I could shield this tower and help defend here. D.Va can't defend against all of them on his own. So with us helping out, we're now in better shape, and now Otis and Speaker have managed to get into this fight as well. They are still pushing here, and I don't know what Amumu's doing, why he's going over here. He gets off his ult, but it's not a good ult. It doesn't really do that much. I'm going to use Janna ult to try to counter that. Karthus again going after me. He's playing so aggressively, which is normally fine, but with Magi's, not so good of an idea. Now he's going to revive. He had a Guardian Angel. He's going to revive. Now we're trying to focus on getting this Gangplank. We're going to kill him. Now it's just Anivia and that Udyr player. Speaker's going to hit on a stun, and that's going to allow us to get some damage on that on that Udyr player. MLL is going to jump in, but they are going to flash out of it. The thing is, we just need to hit on one slow or stun, and this is where playing as Janna is such a nice feature, because right there, I'm able to hit on the Janna Zephyr, and that allows us to score a kill on this Anivia player, which otherwise we probably wouldn't be able to get. Oh, by the way, Karthus is back again, yeah. He's revived and re-entered the fight. Now here comes Udyr, he's re-engaging, and we're going to blow him up with the rest of the team joining together. Now here, we would have the option to push on this tower, but instead, we're going to make the smarter play, and that is to go over here and go for this Baron, because 4 members of their team are down, now 3, because Amumu has just survived, and we're going to take advantage of this to go and score Baron, and hopefully it won't be stolen this time. In a situation like that, trying to push on the tower would not have been a good play, because we had taken so much damage. We could open ourselves up to the same kind of play that they just did against us, which was over pushing and suffering a lot of death. So here we go. I'm going to CV. We just need to score the Baron, and fortunately we do get this one, although the consume from D.Va was actually mistimed again, but fortunately we did pick up that Baron. So anyway, here we are. We have now managed to successfully take that Baron. It was not stolen the second time, and that's now going to put us into a very good situation. I'm going to go down here and try to defend this tower, and notice how fast this tower goes down now to the minions. I mean, look at how much damage that tower is taking. Can you see that? They just made the minions so strong in this most recent patch. So anyway, I'm going to shield the tower to give it extra life, give it an extra, I guess, about 300 life each time I shield it. If I hadn't done that, then this tower would have been almost dead. And so Otis and I go through and clean up the minions there. Anyway, with that last particular play, their team did get our middle base tower, so I mean that's a significant loss, but they suffered a lot of kills to do it, and they didn't get our inhibitor, and we were able to then score Baron off of all their deaths. Now this was a very random comment. I don't know why their Karthus players started typing this, or even what that's supposed to mean. The only thing I can imagine is that he started getting frustrated because their team had been ahead, and now they were starting to fall behind. So anyway. Again, people are often bad-mannered in online games, which is disappointing, but oh well. Their Karthus player, yeah, their Karthus players also picked up a Guardian Angel. That actually does make a lot of sense on Karthus, because his Defile Area of Effect skill will still be running while he has that while he's reviving from his Guardian Angel. So that item actually does make a lot of sense. I don't know about Revive and Teleport on the other two, just because you have absolutely no escapability. Yeah, again, I still don't even know what he's talking about here. Saying we cannot push. It's like, well, you know, we're not going to push if it's not the right time to push. So, well, one thing I was afraid of here is notice how we're pushing the bottom lane and MLL split pushing top. What their team could have done in response was just push middle, because remember, we have nothing there in that inhibitor. Like, they could have traded this tower for an inhibitor, and that would have been an interesting play. They would have probably come out ahead if they had done that. Instead, though, they backed off. They decided not to push mid, and they decided to go back to defend their own inhibitor. So, or not defend their inhibitor, defend this tower. So that worked out pretty well for us. And again, remember, MLO is still split pushing. One of the advantages of Pantheon. Gangplank wasted his ultimate. He ulted. He thought that there was going to be a team fight, but we just backed off and didn't team fight. So that was to our advantage there. Now we are, what we're looking to do is see right now, Karthus just teleported to top lane. We were looking for, as soon as Karthus teleported up here, we were going to look to engage in the bottom lane. Now, fortunately, MLO was actually able to get the kill. What we were going to look to do was have him jump into this fight, like as soon as one of them went up top there. Now there, Udyr came forward to engage, and he did a good job. I mean, he is doing a good job tanking, but we were able to catch him out of position, slow him, and Otis was able to hit on the Ash Arrow, and then D.Va just feasted him, nom-nommed him. So now 18 stacks. So yeah, that's a lot of health, a lot of ability power. There, Amumu ulted, so I ulted to try to counter that, and I think it worked pretty well. We're going into this Gangplank. Otis was getting low, so he's going to flash out. I'm going to continue to shield Otis to give him extra health, give him extra damage, because he is doing a lot of our damage output as Ashe, and we're going to score kills on Gangplank and Amumu there. So we're now in really good shape. We've now got a 4 there. 4 of them are down. Anivia is the only one left up. So now we are looking to be in really good shape to score this inhibitor here on this push. And of course, we still have our Baron, although it's about to run off. So we're going to get this tower, then we're going to look to get this inhibitor, and we are going to be in pretty good shape after this. Anivia backing off, Karthus is back up again, the rest of the team is going to revive soon. So here we go. We were looking to, we can't really push these Nexus turrets. We were hoping we could score another kill. I used my Zephyr Slow on Anivia there, and we were able to hit her, but she also has a Guardian Angel? Yeah, oh, okay, she also has a Guardian Angel. And oh, we just can't quite get her in her egg form. MLL gets taken down, but he also has a Guardian Angel, and at this point with their team reviving, we just need to back out of this. We just need to get out and not try to fight this because their team is reviving, and we don't want them to all revive and then ace us and then start pushing into our base, because after all, remember, we still have no tower here. At any point in time they can always just push that middle lane and get our inhibitor. So anyway, we're going to score their steal their blue on the way out and then head out. If Dragon were up, we could take that, but it's not. And now we're going to look to go back and buy and heal up again for another push. So a great push for us. We got 2 towers in bottom lane. We got the inhib. We were able to score a bunch more kills on their team, and now we're looking to be in pretty good position. I don't know, you probably couldn't hear that, but everybody was buying pots there, and there's a little sound effect on that I can hear on my audio here. Everybody was buying pots and using them. So yeah, a couple people buying them. You can see I've picked up an Elixir of Brilliance. Most other people on the team, because we're at the 50-minute mark, and you can see have all these minion kills, have nearly maxed out their item builds. I mean, Otis he's got Banshee's Veil, he's got Phantom Dancer, Black Cleaver, he's got Infinity Edge, so you can see most everybody is almost maxed out their item build at this point, but of course I haven't because I only have 39 minion kills. But I do have 27 assists, which is pretty good. Anyway, MLL is picking up blue. We've got a minion wave that in top lane waiting to be farmed up. At the moment, we are going to just sit back and look to find another good opportunity to engage. And if we have to, we can always wait for Baron to respawn. We will have map control. With that inhibitor down, the lanes will push, so we'll be in good position to be able to score the next Baron if we have to, just because the other team will be forced to defend their base. Over here, I guess we're looking to try to flank the enemy team, and here we go. We're fighting them in that same spot we were before, but this is probably not the best place to engage. Anytime we fight in tight, enclosed, cramped spaces, it's generally bad for us because of their area effect ultimates. Anyway, right now, I guess we are going to fight this. You can see in comes the Gangplank ult, in comes the fighting. I'm out of position. I should have been able to shield Otis and keep him alive there. Unfortunately, I didn't. I got separated from him. In comes the Karthus ult, and it's going to do a lot of damage. I am not in a good position for this fight. I've been out of position pretty consistently. Here, I'm going to hit my slow on Karthus. I was able to slow him down. Meanwhile, I'm taking a lot of damage. Karthus is going to revive due to his Guardian Angel, and then we're going to target him again, and we're going to be able to feast. We're going to be able to finish him off. I actually get the kill, and Anivia hits me with her frostbite there. So I am going to back out and make sure I don't die. So we actually end up going 3 for 1, even though I don't think I fought that fight very well at all. But with us being at the 52-minute mark, that means the death timers are going to be pretty long at this point in time. So it's very important to try to stay alive if you get low. Anyway, I'm building towards a Banshee's Veil. I don't have quite enough for a Catalyst, unfortunately. Now Baron has just respawned again, so we're going to look to go for that. And the enemy team really can't come out and challenge us on this because the lanes are being pushed and they have to defend their base or they're going to lose it. So we're going to go for this. Meanwhile, our minions are pushing middle lane, our minions are pushing tower lanes. And again, this is where you see the OP minions. They just push so hard right now. I mean, look at that. They just pushed over those 2 towers so easily. So anyway, this is something that is planned to get corrected in future patches. And once again, that was not a good consume smite on that Baron, but fortunately it was uncontested. And now that D.Va has 20 stacks, he's 20 stacks on Majai's and Leviathan. He has an enormous amount of health. He's got tons of armor and magic resist, and he's got a lot of ability power as well. So this is, even though this is a bit of a silly build, it's turned into a really strong Cho'Gath. Alright, right there, everybody was buying more pots. I can't even see it on some of them because, like, D.Va has so many status effects, but D.Va has double or triple potted. MLL has double potted. Let's see, Speaker has double potted. And Otis, I guess Otis does not have an elixir, but everybody else has pretty much maxed out their builds and is now just buying pots because there's literally nothing else for them to buy. I do have an Oracle, although I haven't seen any of their wards. I've had an Oracle for some time, and I haven't seen any of their wards. So either they weren't warding, or once they started to get pushed back into their base, they stopped warding. So I guess the Oracle buy wasn't that useful, but Janna is a very good character to get an Oracle on. Now their inhibitor is respawning soon, so really the smart play is to go over here and force a fight at their inhib. That's where we should be trying to force a fight because they don't have a tower to defend it. That's where we have easiest access into their base. Now we don't really want to fight right now because Otis isn't here. We don't really want to take on these guys in a 3v4 or a 3v5. And that is in fact exactly what we're doing. MLL is going to jump in. There's a great Asher. Wow, he killed Gangplank from halfway across the map. But at this point, we're just so strong that we're able to engage and we're able to fight these guys and beat them without even any problem. The speaker's getting low, so I'm going to try to concentrate on trying to shield him to keep him alive. There's the Janna ult to heal everybody up, and we just killed 3 of them at this point. So now, with 3 of them being dead, we'll be able to score this inhib. Karthus can't really do that much to come out and challenge us. It's just Karthus and Anivia up once again, so we can score this inhib very easily. Let's see, Otis is kiting with his frost arrows on that Karthus. If we can just finish him off, so yep, there we go. And then we get Anivia. Oh, well, there's her Guardian Angel, so she's going to revive again, and we're going to be on her as soon as she revives. She is going to come back to life, then her egg form, and we're going to be able to finish her off with Otis scoring the kill. So that means that this game's over. You can see we've aced them, and that's going to be GG, and it's going to end this one. So a fun game, and we were definitely behind earlier, but we're able to come from behind, and we're able to take that game. All right, let me go through, and I'll take a look at the stats here in a sec.
Victory!
As far as the numbers go, I finished 2-4-33, so you can see that the goal of assisting the rest of the team and supporting them actually ended up working pretty well. I'm not sure I've ever had more than 33 assists in a game. Maybe I have, I'm not sure, but that was quite a lot to have, so I was pretty happy with how I played. I did make some mistakes, could have played better at times, but you can only say that about any games. As far as the rest of our team, you can see MLL had 20 kills and 13 deaths, so played very aggressively, had by far the most kills and by far the most deaths, which I think befits the Pantheon playstyle pretty well. Speakers 8-4-20, very strong. Got a good number of kills, managed to avoid dying pretty well, hit on plenty of stuns with Sion, well played there. Otis, you can see, had the 12 kills against only the 3 deaths. I tried to shield him or MLL as much as possible because they were the 2 least sturdy characters on our team, and they both benefited from the extra damage. He played very well overall, and you can see he maxed out that Ashe build and was extremely strong at the end of the game. Then Diva at the end, he had full stacks on his Majais and Leviathan. He was just so super tanky at the end of the game that it was extremely difficult for the enemy team to do anything to him. The only thing I can say is you have to be a little bit more careful sometimes with the Baron. May have to make sure you hit on that Consume Smite combo to make sure that you get the Baron and make sure that the other team doesn't steal it from you. Anyway, that was a really fun game. It was a long game. It was pretty intense at some points in time. We were behind earlier on, but we were able to turn it around and swing things in our favor. And I was able to get my first ranked win, so hooray, I only need to play, I guess, like 8 more games to actually get a rating. Not that I really care too much about something like that. But anyway, that's how it went down in this game. So, once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, feel free to upvote, feel free to comment, feel free to like, and I'll try to make sure to read your comments, even if I don't always have a chance to respond to them. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again later.